Yep. Okay, so we are live. Happy Tuesday to everyone. And we are really welcome to our first event in this year, 2025 year. So today event name is the BA Project Insider, Beers of GovTech Project, behind the scenes look. EPAM Company is the one leader in this area of scale government projects. They are really interesting one. And main focus of today's event will be explore the initiation and early planning stages of GovTech projects, covering various approaches such as top-down direction, bottom-up innovation, public-private partnership, and innovation labs. So, dear colleagues, we would like to introduce our speakers, Dmitry and Dmitro. So, colleagues, stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Volodymyr. As usually, so guys, welcome to the 2025. Yep, as was announced, this is a special series of our events and GovTech event series. So please, watching on our announcements from time to time, we will publish such kind of events with our top experts. Why? Because this is very hot topic, and actually, let's start together with our great expert. But before that, don't forget to subscribe on our channels. This information you can see on this slide in the right top corner. And as usually today in our BA Project Insider format, we have three points in our agenda. So shortly about the BA Project Insider events format point, let's do that. This is just a kind reminder. Of course, case discussion, and for sure we are going to provide the answers on your questions in chat. So don't forget to use the chat at the end of this event. You will have the time for questions. And I think that the main interesting point of our today's discussion is introduction of our expert. Today, guys, we have a very special guest, Dmitry Ritvinsky. Dmitry is principal business consulting in GovTech area. Guys, you can imagine over 20 years in GovTech and private sector digital transformation leadership. This is a huge period of time. So that is why Dmitry just has a very cool expertise and a very cool bench of knowledge in different areas, especially as an expert that can provide expert consultation or consultancy, leading the digital transformation questions, development, modernizing state information systems, registers, databases, and so on. So with all my pleasure, I just want to provide the word to Dmitry. Dmitry, you're welcome. Please add something interesting about
Yes.
yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dmitro, very much for these pleasant words of introduction. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today to discuss a topic that is, from my point of view at least, is both vital and transformative, and is relevant to all of us because we all live in different states, have communication with different governments. I mean, like local, central, that doesn't matter. So I hope that we will cover some like interesting issues, questions, just briefly, because, well, definitely we can talk a lot about GovTech, not only in 30 minutes, but I think that we will continue this domain or this area to cover with a lot of different other topics related to GovTech. So the floor is yours, Dmitro. Let's continue and
Yep.
move on.
Do that. I just turn on my timer because we need to finish on time. So thank you so much, Dmitry. And about myself, you know me, guys. Some of you knows me very well. Some of you maybe not. But I am a chief business analyst, and I'm convinced in that fact that only on the edge of different areas, we can provide a lot of interesting things, invent a lot of interesting ideas and solutions. So That is why, based on my past experience, I just like to combine different kind of roles at the projects and just provide to you some ideas, insights, bench of knowledge, etc. So that is my credo, and I think that is a main accent, in my work for you guys. Let's remind ourselves some information about our format. So 30 minutes active discussion, maybe a little bit more from time to time, but we will try to cover that in 30 minutes. And of course, 3 practical cases, 2 experts, and for sure, you'll never leave our event without the additional and practical approach, or we can say that tool, one-pager helper for you guys, for you. We prepared this time very interesting one-pager, so please take a look on that, but it will be at the end of this meeting. And I can say that we can start, and I think that this is the right time to start the discussion from the general questions to you guys. What is the successful rate percentage of government digital projects? Please write your suggestions in the comments to our chat, and we just can discuss this information all together. But before that, I think that that is a good idea to understand what is GovTech projects in reality. Yes, Dmitry?
Yeah. And I think that we will reveal the answer to this question. I mean, about the guesses that guys are going to put in comments at the end of our presentation. We have the answer, of course, at least relevant to one very important source of information, and I will mention it a bit earlier. So.
Yep.
I think just to talk a little bit about topic disclosure. Do you have any questions related to this, Dmitry, to this slide, so I can continue ad hoc talking?
Yes, you can continue, because the main question is the next that was sounded. So, what is real GovTech?
Yeah, okay. I'll try to answer this briefly and concise. And like I said in the introduction part, so this subject, I mean this domain, is relevant to all of us, regardless of our location, because we are all citizens who have to engage with our governments in various ways. Well, in some countries, this interaction may be more traditional, not always pleasant, and offline, with necessity to visit different offices, sometimes in different locations, in different buildings, with lots of bureaucracy. While in other countries, it has evolved into seamless one-click technological solutions. So, for instance, in Estonia, even now in Ukraine, when we're talking, and I can mention the family of different products related to DIA. So in Denmark, in other very well developed in the technological perspective view countries. And regardless of the methods, our collaboration with government is essential for fostering effective public services and enhancing civic engagement. So we all have to sometimes to give feedback to our governments how to improve our public their process of delivery public services to us as citizens, as their constituents. And as someone said, I don't remember whose words are these, but nevertheless, the universe is infinitely complex, so we must simplify it. So the same relates to GovTech domain. So it's quite a huge domain industry. So you can just imagine how many different entities, state bodies are inside the government relationship and interoperability, and they all have some sort of technologies how to thinking how to deliver all these different public services to citizens, to their citizens. At its core, GovTech, or government technology, is about leveraging technology to enhance public services delivered by the government. So to be more effective, the GovTech approach to public sector modernization should be anchored to 3 key principles. Yeah, and they are displayed on the screen. And shortly about them, citizen-centric public services. This is the first main principle, which, in its core, has put citizens at the heart of service delivery. So a government should think about how to place a citizen and its needs into the center of their delivery model. This means they have to think about designing services that are not only accessible, but also tailored to meet the diverse needs of all citizens. Even thinking and understanding, because government, they definitely, if the infrastructure and ecosystem of different registers and state database very well developed and connected, they definitely know a lot of information about us. So sometimes they have to predict what kind of services, who I am and what kind of services I need, because I can press some buttons and definitely they can predict something, what my next needs are. And when we prioritize user experience, we foster great engagement and satisfaction. So this is the simple principle. And it's awesome when the service is not like only active and available to us using different UI interfaces, but also a proactive by design, and not passive digitally repeating offline process. I mean, for instance, if you have some sort of live event and the system already know your previous step, so entering the doesn't matter, unified web portal or mobile application, the system predict what can be also related to your current life event, taking into account your previous steps and fostering you to do, for instance, to receive a service from the government, just pressing and following the instructions on the screen. The second principle, whole of government approach. So government must adopt a whole of government mindset. So this is very important. This approach emphasizes collaboration across various government departments, agencies, state bodies, ministries, on all levels. This is one of the most challenging and let's say problematic issue to government as a collaborate like a set of different, let's say, enterprises and state bodies, because they have all their views, strategies, ideas, how to implement all these technological tools into their like daily operational model, let's say so. And by breaking down silos, they can create a more cohesive and integrated digital transformation that benefits everyone. But like always, easier said than done. So they have at least think about it. And the next principle is simple, efficient, and transparent systems, because definitely to provide, to deliver public services, government have to think about basement, the fundamental layer, which we can see on the screen on the left, different registries, information communicational system and databases. They have to be like simple from development perspective, from engineering perspective, from operational perspective. They should be like transparent, efficient, simplifying processes, reducing bureaucratic hurdles. Like enhancing trust between the government and its citizens.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
So, and as you can see on the slide, we have like visual representation of these concepts, simplifying, of course, the communication route between officials and citizens. And like I said, at the base, we have like sources of information about different data related to citizens or their life events. And then we have like some layers of data lake, if necessary, integration gateway, where this information should be securely interoperable between different registers and system, and then like technical layer or different service applications. And then, of course, presentation layer, where user can communicate through, like I said, unified web portal, for instance, or mobile application, and receive all these public services from its government. But we have to understand that government management and operational landscape is huge, like I said also. And on every level, even of this simple representation, there will be different projects, a lot of interesting hurdles and cases, challenges, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, very complex, very complex, just holistic picture. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and we need to dive deep into the
Yeah,
details.
okay.
So let's go forward with our expert to the first case, guys. Case number one: top-down directive approach. And if we if we're just going to think about the top-down as an approach, everyone understands this idea, but what is the main, I guess, tricks of top-down directive approach? This is the first question to our expert, and the second one: how to find, how we can find the right, or we can say needed expertise for GovTech projects at all. In that case, Dmitro.
Yeah, I'll try to answer, but again, all I'm going to tell is like a simplification of this like very challenging and complex process. This approach, I mean top-down directive approach, often comes with specific preconditions that can significantly influence the project success. Firstly, yes, we have the directive order in most cases, which serves as a mandate to develop, for instance, like an example, a specific system or specific public service or enhance existing public service and so forth and so forth. This directive typically originates from a higher level of government or a significant policy decision. So politics is everywhere here, effectively setting the stage for the project ahead. So to increase the likelihood of success, it is highly advisable, well, at least to the government who is, or representatives of the government who is going to like making such difficult directive order and decisions, to conduct a discovery phase before establishing this directive order. This phase, I mean discovery phase, allows for a thorough understanding of user needs and gather and collect more thoroughly project requirements or future product requirements, ultimately leading to more informed decision making and better alignment with, like I said, a huge range of different stakeholders and the expectations. And the problem is that politicians, well, I had to guess, at least from my experience, in 9 times out of 10, they don't even understand deeply the topic from IT perspective. I mean, and often they don't even have relative experience or qualification to make such decisions or to make such like orders. But they start pushing the project from the early beginning, especially from timeline perspective. So next, I mean the second input we have in this directive approach, top down directive timeline. Often, very often, in 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure. GovTech projects are often constrained by strict deadlines dictated by policy or legislative requirements or framework, and at times they may be influenced by political motivations without sufficient evidence that it is feasible to do this or that system or service at this period of time. This is particularly concerning when there is a lack of references from a discovery phase, which I mentioned before, which could utilize methods like the reference class forecasting, for instance, just to justify timelines based on experiences from previously delivered projects, developed systems, services, and so on and so forth. So it is like very important if the country builds some sort of database where they accumulate all the previous developed or delivered project, just to be able to use all this data to make forecasting using, like I said, reference class forecasting methods. Well, another crucial factor is questionable budget. Budget allocations are often predetermined and may not fully account for all practical needs or unforeseen expenses that arise during the project life cycle. And it's essential to understand the real conditions that often accompany these projects. One common issue is vague customer needs. So often customers just have like a set of different, let's say, business requirements and business needs, and they're also like vague from technological perspective, and you have to put a lot of effort to understand much deeper their needs by facilitating different meetings and collecting and challenging their requirements, and without a clear understanding of end user requirements as well. So the customer is, I mean, like from governmental perspective, but the real customer usually it's when we're talking about citizen or business representatives who are going to receive all these, let's say, final public services. Moreover, we face feasibility concerns with unrealistic or unclear or even often changing objectives during the
Yes.
project going on. So lastly, I think that we must address also the absence of subject matter experts, usually, not always, but often, and a qualified team from the customer side. A shortage of skilled professionals can severely impact the quality and success of the project outcomes. So, to address these challenges associated with the directive order, there can be much more solutions, of course, in a particular situation. But as I said, we must simplify. So as much as early as possible, propose a solution that emphasizes negotiation and the involvement of experts, I mean subject matter experts, in working out the solution, timeline, budget, just to justify that it is feasible or not feasible, just to understand better. So this is the main idea about this top-down directive approach, just briefly.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But the second part of my question was about where we can find the right, actually, expertise and how we can form the right solution for all of us. I mean, suitable solution. Yep. Maybe you can provide your piece of advice.
Yeah, expertise we can find in different directions. Usually, expertise lays inside the state body, but we have to dig a little bit deeper. I mean, on the middle layer of specialists, and sometimes even on the bottom layer. I mean, because I'm pretty sure that you will find in the organization which is responsible for providing this or that solution or developing this or that solution or service, you will find like people understanding the current situation as this situation with the offline services, and the idea what can be improved if we are going to digitize this service and put them using this whole technological perspective and make them online for citizens.
Awesome.
So the first approach, try to understand the landscape inside the organization of the customer, who is who on the different levels, not only on the like management level. Try to dive deeper, and then of course you can use. But we are right now we are going to discuss the second case, bottom-up approach, because this is all connected steps. And the secondary way you can find expertise, it's about partnerships, communities, and citizens' feedback. Of course, we have to think how to like gather all these people who are receiving current services as is, and trying to understand their pain points and their real needs if we are going to provide them something using digital technology. What kind of services will be like suitable for them and for different categories of users.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And we really slightly shift to the case number 2, bottom-up innovations. We call that. Why innovations? Because initiatives and ideas are elevating or could be elevating from the bottom to the up. Yep, and there we have 2 main questions also. What is the main difference between bottom-up and top-down approach? Just maybe a couple of bullet points, thoughts, etc. And also, what are the main secrets, we can say that, of bottom-up approach, and especially in question of innovations support. I mean, innovation that is coming from the bottom to the up.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I know all the answers to the secrets you've mentioned. Yeah, but at least, I'll share my ideas and my opinion on this. So this approach, I mean, bottom-up innovations in GovTech, emphasizes the importance of grassroots initiatives and the elevation of ideas from within the organization, ministry, agency, or doesn't matter what kind of state body, from bottom to up. Successful bottom-up innovations begin with the elevation of initiatives and ideas. However, for this to occur effectively, certain preconditions must be met. So we have to have like in place this elevation model. Unfortunately, many government institutions face challenges that hinder this process because they are quite bureaucratic and they like very regulated, strictly regulated. So they sometimes they don't even like have place to think about new ideas, and because it's not regulated by legislation. So one significant issue is the absence of a structured and effective elevation process. I mean, like documented very well, and without a clear pathway for ideas to be recognized and acted upon, valuable innovations can easily be overlooked, so just missed.
Yeah.
Additionally, the lack of managerial support can stifle creativity and discourage individuals from proposing new ideas. Uh, so, what kind of solution we can discuss here? Well, to foster a culture of bottom-up innovation, organizations must cultivate an open culture of idea sharing and support for implementation. It's not easy to do it from governmental perspective where everything is like strictly regulated. Uh, However, it is essential to estimate and understand the organizational and cultural context in which these innovations are being introduced. Tailoring approaches to fit the unique dynamics of the organization will increase the likelihood of success. So there are some concerns, of course, and one like resistance to change, for instance, at a high level. Legislation, like I said, so for instance, legal compliance concerns, of course. Innovations may be stiffed by legal constraints and compliance requirements. There is one interesting belief, from my experience at least, in GovTech among officials, especially among management level, C level, and or somewhere close, which shows brightly their way of working with innovations and a way of thinking. For instance, there's a saying, in the private sector, you can generally do anything that is not explicitly prohibited by law. In the public sector, you can only do what is explicitly authorized by legislations. So, and this can be like a very, very challenging situation when you have ideas, when you have innovations, you know how to propose them, even you can discuss it. But then you have to think about, well, guys, what is our legal framework? Do we have something like regulations to this innovation, or we have to think about how to move legislation forward first of all and change some sort of or develop some sort of environment for our future innovations, first of all thinking about like changes in the law or bureaucracy, because lack of motivation and bureaucracy, this is another challenge from like which can put block on this approach. I mean, bottom up innovation approach.
It's not a trivial task. It's not a trivial solution here. You guys, you need to realize, I guess, from the words of our expert, from his very authority opinion, that you need to think about the culture, how you're going to grow this culture, because this is a separate project, I guess. And step by step, you can provide some kind of additional abilities to support your initiations and innovations from the bottom to up. Yep. So that means for you guys, maybe that you need also to think about some kind of transformations in the center of your organization, yeah, or inside the organization. And that is also huge and interesting challenge. And I can say that we are going to speak about the transformation secrets or transformation approach, implementation secrets. Yep, in the future, definitely. So Thank you so much, Dmitrov, for your comments here, and we can slightly shift to the next case number 3. And this is also very interesting and very young approach in our country, especially this approach we call as a public-private partnership, innovation labs and communities. Why? Because all these types of organizations or way how everything could be organized help us to provide the right solutions to our governmental structures. And here I have only 2 questions again for you. The first is, what is the main advantage of the public partnership as an approach? Yep. And what is an essential to establish PPP, if we are going to speak with abbreviation? Yep. So here, and yeah, you're welcome.
And again, just briefly, because I'm pretty sure that we have like maybe some minutes left. So this approach leverages collaboration between government entities, bodies, state bodies, doesn't matter, and private sector partners to drive innovation and enhance public services. So what are preconditions for successful public-private partnerships to flourish? It is essential to establish transparent rules of play where everybody understands their roles, their way of responsibilities, expectations, laying the groundwork for effective collaboration. So how to organize all this collaboration between different state bodies, different cultures, and so on. But what are real conditions usually? However, many organizations face challenges that hinder the effectiveness of these partnerships. Often there is an absence or vagueness of structured and working rules of play, or lack of guidance how to play the game between government and public sector organization, partnership, and different communities. And without these clear frameworks, it becomes difficult to navigate the complexities of collaboration.
Yeah.
So what kind of solutions can be proposed? So to address these challenges, I think that we should advocate for implementing performance and outcome-based incentives, where like everyone understand what kind of metrics can be put into place just to have them like a compass or like a guideline or roadmap. It doesn't matter with some sort of metrics or objectives and key results. So something that can be like feasible and visible for all players on these in this collaboration. But it is crucial to consider at least several important factors like scalability and agile planning procedures, because definitely if we are talking about developing like services, different government systems with horizon for 2, 3, 5, 7 years, sometimes it is difficult to be like very strict and follow waterfall approach, because definitely here we have to think first of all not about how to implement them in the delivery process, because it's the easiest part. It's important to understand how to implement them in this mindset of governmental procurement processes, operational model of government, because it's sometimes difficult to convince government representatives that well guys, everything is good on paper, but in reality everything will be different and a lot of changes will be met on the go when the project starts. So what do we have here like primary challenges? Goal misalignment sometimes. Differences in objectives between public and private partners can lead to conflicts and inefficiencies. So here we can think about how to establish shared goals from the outset. It is essential for common success. Complex procurement management. This is also for both for all cases. I mean, case 1, case 2, case 3. It's complex just as a obligatory option in government. Complex procurement management. So the procurement process can be intricate and burdensome. Streamlining these processes can facilitate smoother collaboration and faster project initiation. Sometimes it's even better to cut the project into pieces and thinking about how to deliver pieces first of all, not to architecture the complex system for 5-10 years and thinking about waterfall approach. Cultural differences. One of the also most important differences in organizational cultures between public and private entities. This can lead to misunderstanding and miscommunications often. And
Yeah,
building mutual respect and understanding is crucial for effective collaboration. But to build mutual respect and to build trust, because without trust, it's difficult even
absolutely.
to deliver something successfully. So it needs time. It needs time to build this mutual respect and trust. And of course, we have to think how to foster it, how to gain the trust more, let's say, quick in a quicker way. So, in summary, I think that while public-private partnerships, innovation labs, and communities hold great promise for driving innovation in GovTech, they require clear rules, effective management from all sides of collaboration, and commitment to shared goals. By addressing the primary challenges and fostering a collaborative environment, we can unlock the full potential of these partnerships and, of course, enhance public service delivery. So I think, just briefly and concise about this case. Dmitro?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with you totally because when we were discussing this point with you during the process of preparation to this event, that is the most interesting and most I can say the most perspective, type of the type of partnership between the GovTech sector and actually other companies who want to bring some kind of improvements, initiatives, and make our process of and make our living process better and better in our state, in any kind of state, by the way. Because in foreign countries we have a lot, not a lot, but we could find some kind of great examples of public-private partnership between governmental structures and private structures. And in Ukraine, this is, guys, for you, especially for you, this is some kind of new type of partnership. So please be aware about that. And just watching the news, what is going on, trying to find the trends, trying to be with us and to understand these trends, etc. Thank you so much for this.
Wait for a second. Let's return to our question, which we asked.
I want to do that after our.
Okay. Because I just thought that you had joined to the end of the meeting. So okay.
Sure. So, guys, this is the right moment to present to your attention our GovTech Project specific one-pager helper. For sure, it's not for review as usually. This slide will be shared with you on our LinkedIn channels. And I mean, first of all, IIBA Ukraine chapter, business analysis community, our private pages. I mean, Dmitry pages, my page, my page on LinkedIn. So please, you can use it for your work. As you can see, we just explained here some kind of these three pillars that Dmitry mentioned before at the beginning of our discussion today. And for sure, you can see the description, what is the main accents for these pillars and what is the main trends and lessons learned that we can just share with you to your understanding. And for sure, you can use this model of this visual model, conceptual model of GovTech as an entity, especially for us, for the business analysts, So I think that is the right time for questions. So Dmitry, do we have anyone who want to ask something?
Yeah, I mean that I mentioned about the first question, which you asked to the
Mhm.
audience, and we have some answers from.
Okay, great.
I can see it from chat that we have different a range of numbers from five
Mhm.
percent to let's say, as I see, 75%. So, and this is very good because we have different opinions and different guesses. But the World Bank, this organization supports and invests a lot of money in different countries around the world, supporting GovTech as a like industry and domain. They also have a lot of interesting materials on this topic, and even educational courses providing and supporting management in different countries, how to not only implement, let's say, technological solutions and different delivery models, let's say so, but also they are thinking how to educate them. I mean, provide them like latest knowledges in different directions, using their platforms, educational platforms as well. So the World Bank paints a bleak picture in this concern, revealing that attention, less than 20% of digital government projects can be deemed successful. This is very interesting because, well, we have to understand what kind of like factors of successful they're taken into account. But mostly we are talking about timeline, budget, and benefits. Yeah, and no, of course, benefits and quality somewhere in this triangle, or like in the middle, or on the one of the corners. But the interesting thing that sometimes we don't know the exact number of private
Yes.
the successful rate percentage of private sector, because there's a myth that private sector is more successful and efficient, but to compare we need numbers. I think that yes, the number on the private sector will be higher, but I am not sure that's much higher. So
Yeah.
at least these projects encounter a multitude of issues ranging from technological hurdles to implementation difficulties. That's why the number is quite low, I would say. And this is
Yes.
this is the room for improvement and food for thought for different governments and officials, how to do projects like in a way which will help them to deliver it more effectively or efficient.
Absolutely, I can agree with you because complexity matters, and the level of complexity of such kind of projects matters for us. And I think that this is a great opportunity for all of us. Yep, to be on such kind of projects, because we can just skill up ourselves very well, and we can bring to our organizations new knowledge, new experience, and something interesting. So yes, that is great. That was a great answer for your questions, guys. For based on your suggestions of the statistics of successful governmental projects execution, and I think that we just need to make some hard stop because we have a format of event. Yep. And but before that, we want to announce to you guys that this event was the first milestone on the way in 2025 in our series of the GovTech Project specific events. And actually, we want to announce the next topic. Please don't miss this opportunity to see what is going on there. Avoiding GovTech project pitfalls. Yep, this is also very interesting and very unusual topic for all of us, with a great expertise again. And see you later. So please just look forward. Look forward. Just check our events. And you are welcome. You're welcome with your questions, by the way, after this event. So please provide the questions on our community portal, and we, with all our pleasure, we're going to provide to you some answers, complex answers. So thank you so much, Dmitro, for such great experience, for this very intensive but very, very important discussion. And let's wish our guys all together Just don't forget to subscribe to our channels again, guys. And guys, also don't be shy and provide some kind of badges on VR community to our expert, to our team, and to our initiatives and be a project insider. And see you next time. So thank you so much, Dmitry.
Yeah, thank you, Dmitro, for having me here, and thank you to audience for listening to me. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, see you guys, and have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye bye.